Hello everyone, you're watching Hornbill TV's Prime Time. First the headlines. At least 19 people, including 16 students, died after a Bangladesh fighter jet crashed into the campus of the Milestone School and College and in the capital Dhaka's Uttara neighborhood, Monday, officials said. Former Chief Minister of Kerala V.S. Achutan Nanda, who is known as the Grand Old Communist Leader, has passed away today in Thiruvananthapuram. "19 years after 2006 Mumbai train blast claimed 189 lives and left over 800 people injured, the Bombay High Court today acquitted all 12 people convicted by a lower court in the serial bombing case. In a major political shake-up, Japan's ruling coalition led by the Liberal Democratic Party and its partner Kim Myoto is set to lose its majority in the House of Councillors from following Sunday's election, Kyodo News reports. Now the news in details. At least 19 people, including 16 students, died after a Bangladesh fighter jet crashed into the campus of the Milestone School and College in capital Dhaka's Uttara neighborhood, Monday, officials said. The death toll is expected to go up as rescue operations are ongoing. The pilot, identified as Flight Lieutenant Mohammed Tokir Islam, and 2 teachers were also killed in the crash. Over 100 people have been injured. The F-7BGI fighter jet, used for training purposes, took off from a nearby base at 1:06 p.m. local time before crashing into the Milestone and College campus, according to the statement from the military's public relations department. Visuals of the crash site and videos shared online showed fire and smoke billowing while emergency personnel tried to put out the blaze. One haunting clip shared by the news agency PTI showed the wrecked jet engine buried under the rubble of what was once a classroom. Another video shot from a distance showed a swarm of people rushing to the burning wreckage and a massive fire burning through the one-story school building. Meanwhile, Bangladesh interim Prime Minister Mohammad Yunus called the tragedy irrepressible, expressing condolence to the families of the victims. He also promised a thorough investigation into the cause of the crash and pledged all kinds of assistance to those affected. Former Chief Minister of Kerala V.S. Achutan Nanda, who is known as the Grand Old Communist Leader, has passed away today in Thiruvananthapuram. He was 101. The veteran politician had been under treatment at the SUT Hospital's intensive care unit since June 2023 after suffering a cardiac arrest. Achutan Nanda was the last surviving member of the original group that split from the Communist Party of India (CPI) to form the Communist Party of the India Marxists. He had remained active in the politics until 2018 when a stroke weakened his health. A formidable force in Kerala's political history, Achutan Nanda was first elected as a member of the Legislative Assembly MLA and 1982 when he became Chief Minister in 2006. Thrice he sat as the leader of the opposition in the State Assembly. For 20 years from 2001, he was continuously elected as the legislator of Marakirakuram. Over 200 members of the parliament have signed for a notice of motion for the impeachment of the Justice Yashwant Verma. Rajya Sabha Chairman and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar informed the Rajya Sabha on Monday that a notice of motion for impeachment of the Justice Yashwant Verma, signed by 50 Rajya Sabha MPs, have been represented to him. Law Minister Arjun Ram Meghwal also informed that about 152 Lok Sabha MPs have submitted a similar resolution to the Lok Sabha Speaker. Rajya Sabha Chairman said he has received notice of motion to constitute a statutory committee for the removal of the Justice Yashwant Verma. It has been signed by 50 members of the Council of States Rajya Sabha, and thus it meets the numerical requirement of the signing by the MPs for the setting in a motion a process for removal of a High Court judge. He then announced that the provisions of Section 3 will come into the effect and the Secretary General will take necessary steps in this direction.
I need to inform you that I have received notice of motion under Article 217, 1B, read with Article 218 and Article 124, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution of India, along with Section 31B of the Judges Enquiry Act 1968, to constitute a statutory committee for removal of Justice Yashwant Verma, Judge of the High Court of Judicature at Rajasthan, at Allahabad. This has been received by me today. It is signed by more than 50 members of the Council of States, and thus it meets the numerical requirement of signing by members of Parliament for setting in motion a process for removal of a High Court judge. I direct the Secretary General to find out whether a similar motion has been moved in the House of People, the Lok Sabha, and this is being done for the purpose that under the Judges Enquiry Act 1968, the procedure is different if a motion is presented in one house or if the motion is presented on the same day in both the houses. If the motion is presented in the two houses on different dates, then the motion which is presented in the house first, that alone is taken into consideration, and the second motion gets non-jurisdictional. But if the motion...
A huge amount of sludge fell on the roads in Uttarakhand after a drain overflowed during heavy rainfall on Monday, leaving many vehicles stuck and people, including tourists, stranded. The incident took place near the Kanchenjunga Glacier, which is waterlogged every year during the monsoon. A video shows two-wheeler and four-wheelers trying to wade through the sludge-filled, flooded road. 2 to 3 people were seen pushing an MUV with a woman and a driver sitting inside the car. A truck also got stuck on the road. Uttarakhand has been witnessing heavy rainfall since the start of this month, causing many landslides and road blockages. The Indian Meteorological Department (IMD) has issued a red alert for extremely heavy rainfall in Uttarakhand today. According to the State Emergency Operations Center, the Weather Office also predicted lightning accompanied with strong winds in some areas of Dehradun, Dhari, Pauri, Nainital, Champawat and Udham Singh Nagar. All schools from class 1 to 12 in Dehradun remain shut today, and an orange alert for heavy rainfall has been issued in some parts of Dehradun and Uttarkashi districts on July 22. A quick break. We'll be right back.
Phase 1 was big, but Phase 2 can even be bigger. The Nagaland Disaster Management School Safety Policy Compliance course is back. This is an online mandatory training course for all the teachers. If you missed Phase 1, don't worry. Phase 2 is your chance. You can register now and complete by 31st October 2025. Certified already? Be a leader. Encourage your school to reach 100%. Top performing schools with maximum registrations will be recognized. Register now for the School Safety Policy Compliance course by going on the Department of School Education's website and click on Register. This is a mandatory course for all teachers, educators, and stakeholders, both in government as well as private schools. Join us in creating a safer future for Nagaland's educational landscape.
Where the software engineer meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
Welcome back. Moving on with the news. The capital city of Rajasthan has been rocked by another shocking act of violence as a young man was brutally murdered by a group of 8 assailants in the Palri Mina area. The victim, identified as 22-year-old Vipin Nayak, a resident of Palri Mina, Kachi Basti, was reportedly stabbed 14 times with a knife. He was rushed to the hospital but succumbed to his injuries, declared dead by doctors. Over the issues, Additional Police Commissioner of Jaipur Rameshwar Chaudhary said that they have detained the 4 accused in connection with the incident. Further investigation will be done after interrogation. The victim will get justice and strict action will be taken against those involved in the incident.
अभी जो कुल मुलजिम है उनमें से 4 मुलजिम थे। रात को जो टीमें थी वो लग के और उनको डिटेन किया गया है। उनकी इंट्रोगेशन चल रही है। इंट्रोगेशन के बाद में आगे कार्रवाई की जाएगी। घटना का तो आपको ध्यान है, इनके आपस में रंजिश थी और इसमें फिर जो चाकू से स्टेपिंग हुई है। मुख्य आरोपी सर अभी पकड़ा गया है। अभी 4 जो आरोपी है वो भी मतलब जो शामिल थे अपराध में वो सारे मुख्य आरोपी है। जो लोग शामिल थे अपराध करने में वो सभी मुख्य आरोपी है ही, मुख्य आरोपी है ही। लेकिन सर जो अनस है जो मुख्य आरोपी वो आदतन अपराधी है, पहले भी उसको सजा हो चुकी है। मैंने भी बताया ना आपके मीडिया के साथियों को, पहले भी पुलिस ने गिरफ्तार किया है और उसका पुलिस कस्टडी लिया, रिमांड लिया है और यहाँ पे परेड कराई हुई है। लेकिन अभी गिरफ्त से दूर है। नहीं, अभी ये नहीं कह सकते, हमारी टीमें लगी हुई है, सारी कार्रवाई चल रही है। अभी सर प्रदर्शन पे बैठे हुए हैं ये परिजन वगैरह, इनसे कोई समझाइश वगैरह? नहीं, अभी आपके सामने इनको समझाइश की गई है और हाईवे पे ट्रैफिक नॉर्मल है अभी, और इनसे यही सभी से अपील की गई है कि वो शांति बनाए रखें। उनको बिल्कुल न्याय मिलेगा। पुलिस तत्पर है और पुलिस पूर्णतया जो सही अनुसंधान करके और मुलजिमों के खिलाफ सख्त कार्रवाई करेगी। अनावश्यक मतलब हाईवे पर आगे और आम जन को परेशान नहीं करे, उसके लिए मैंने इन सभी से अपील की है। क्या मांग कर रहे हैं? अब इनकी डिमांड्स आप उनसे पूछ लो एक बार।
19 years after 2006 Mumbai train blast claimed 189 lives and left over 800 people injured, the Bombay High Court today acquitted all 12 people convicted by a lower court in the serial bombing case. In 2015, a trial court had convicted these 12 accused, sentencing 5 of them to death and the others to life imprisonment. Setting aside the trial court order, the High Court bench of Justice Anil Kilor and Justice Shyam Chandak said the prosecution had utterly failed to prove the case against the accused. The court said that the accused shall be released from the jail if they are not wanted in any other case. The bench noted that the convicts were given the benefit of the doubt due to the prosecution's failure to prove the charges. The court questioned witnesses' statement. It noted that 100 days after the blast, it is not possible for a person to remember a suspect. The court also said that the explosives, arms and maps recovered during the investigation appeared to be unrelated to the blast. The prosecution, it said, could not even prove what kind of bombs were used in the blast. On July 11, 2006, 7 bomb blasts had ripped through separate Mumbai local trains within 11 minutes. Rigged pressure cookers were used for the bombings to amplify the damage caused. The first occurred at 6:24 p.m. rush hour due to the people returning from work, and at the last at 6:35 p.m. The bombs were placed in the first-class compartments of the trains from Church Gate. They exploded near the stations of Mutanga Road, Mahim Junction, Bandra Khar Road, Jogeshwari, Bayandar and Borivali. A trial court in 2015 convicted 12 people in the blast case. The Special Court of Maharashtra Control of Organised Crime Act sentenced Faisal Sheikh, Asif Khan, Kamal Ansari, Ishtan Sham, Sikidi and Navid Khan to death. 7 other convicts, Mohammad Sajid Ansari, Muhammad Ali, Dr. Tanvir Ansari, Masjid Shafi, Muzammil Sheikh, Sohail Sheikh and Zamir Sheikh were sentenced to life imprisonment for being part of the conspiracy. All the 12 convicts will now walk free after the High Court's ruling today.
देखिए, आज के फैसले से तो हम बहुत खुश हैं, बिकॉज 19 साल से इस फैसले का इंतजार किया गया था, स्पेशली जब सजा लग गई थी उसके बाद। और आप जानते हैं कि 4 से 5 जो लोग हैं उनको डेथ सेंटेंस मिला था। जिन एक्यूज को मैं रिप्रेजेंट करती हूँ उनका नाम जमीर शेख है। उन्हें लाइफ इम्प्रिजमेंट की सजा मिली थी कि उनके नॉलेज में था कि ये कहीं ना कहीं ये इंसिडेंट होने वाला है। एंड देन ही वेंट अब्रॉड टू टेक द ट्रेनिंग। देयर आफ्टर ही केम बैक टू इंडिया एंड ही वाज वन ऑफ द पार्टिसिपेशन व्हेन द रेकी वाज डन। ये इनके ऊपर इल्जाम थे, इसी के बेसिस पे उनको लाइफ इम्प्रिजमेंट मिली थी। सो फॉर माई क्लाइंट इज कंसर्न, जब उनका अरेस्ट हुआ था ही वॉज 25-26 ईयर ओल्ड एंड एक मध्यम वर्ग के परिवार से वो आते हैं, जैसे मिडिल क्लास परिवार होता है, और इस केस में उनको फर्स्टली इम्प्लीकेट किया गया था।
अभी इस फैसले के बाद से क्या आपने अपने क्लाइंट से बात की है? क्योंकि शुरुआत में क्या कहते थे जब उन पे इतना बड़ा आरोप लगाया गया, उन्हें गिरफ्तार?
देखिए, शुरुआत से लेकर के अब तक जो मेरी उनसे लास्ट वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग पे मुलाकात हुई थी, क्योंकि वो अभी जेल में हैं, तो उनका यही बोलना था कि मैडम हमें फॉल्सली इम्प्लीकेट किया गया है इतने बड़े मैटर में। जब इन्हें मेन कल्प्रेट्स नहीं मिले हैं तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें जो है बलि का बकरा बनाया गया है।
जांच एजेंसियों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा सबब है
जी।
इतना बड़ा मामला था, 190 लोगों की मौत हुई,
जी,
800 से लोग घायल हुए।
जी,
और आज 19 साल ट्रायल चलने के बाद पता चलता है कि आरोपी थे।
जी, देखिए, कहीं जहां आज इन लोगों का एक्विटल मिला है, हम लोगों को बहुत खुशी है, फैमिलीज को भी खुशी है। वही कहीं ना कहीं हमारे दिल में विक्टिम्स की फैमिली के लिए, विक्टिम्स के लिए दर्द है कि जो मेन कल्प्रेट्स है, जो जिन लोगों ने ये ब्लास्ट करवाया था, जो मास्टर माइंड्स थे, वो शायद आज भी बाहर खुले घूम रहे हैं। और ये कहीं ना कहीं जो है इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसी के ऊपर एक तमाचा भी है कि आपको जो है एक पर्टिकुलर कम्युनिटी को ना टारगेट करते हुए सिक्के का दूसरा रुख भी देखना चाहिए, और आपको इस मामले को जो है, जो पूरा ब्लास्ट था, इसको अच्छी तरह से इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चाहिए था।
इंसाफ तो होता ही है,
जी,
लेकिन इसमें बहुत ज्यादा देरी नहीं हो गई?
जी, इंसाफ में देरी हुई है, बट हम लोग खुश है कि कहीं ना कहीं इनको इंसाफ मिल गया है।
थैंक यू सर।
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who is the leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, on Monday accused the government of not allowing him to speak in the House over the opposition demands for the monsoon session of Parliament, saying that union ministers were allowed to speak but he was not permitted. Congress and the other parties of the India bloc have identified 8 key issues to be raised during the monsoon session of the Parliament. These include Pahalgam terror attack and special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar. Opposition members had given adjournment notices which were not accepted.
नहीं, देखिए, सवाल ये है कि जो हाउस में डिफेंस मिनिस्टर को बोलने देते हैं, उनके लोगों को बोलने देते हैं, मगर अगर विपक्ष का कोई कुछ कहना चाहता है तो अलाउड नहीं है। मैं लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन हूँ, मेरा हक है, तो मुझे तो कभी बोलने ही नहीं देते हैं। तो ये एक नया अप्रोच है। दौड़ के निकले हाउस से 1 सेकंड में, तो डिस्कशन। हाँ, चर्चा तो होगी, अगर वो अलाउ करेंगे तो होगी, मगर इशू ये है कि कन्वेंशन कहता है कि अगर सरकार के लोग कुछ बोलें तो हमें भी स्पेस मिलनी चाहिए। हम 2 शब्द कहना चाहते थे मगर विपक्ष को ये अलाउड नहीं है। थैंक यू।
सर क्या सवाल क्या चाहता है, क्योंकि आप कह रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री से ही आप चाहते हैं कि प्रधानमंत्री का स्टेटमेंट होना चाहिए, किसी मंत्री के स्टेटमेंट को क्या नहीं मानेगा?
मैम खत्म हो गया। थैंक यू।
We'll be right back after a short break.
यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के संकल्प सबका साथ सबका विकास को माननीय मुख्यमंत्री योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने सामाजिक एकता एवं समरसता के उच्चतम मानदंडों के साथ बनाया है यूपी सरकार का मूल मंत्र। परिणाम स्वरूप 2017 के बाद उत्तर प्रदेश में सभी को मिले बिना किसी भेदभाव के रोजगार के समान अवसर एवं योजनाओं के लाभ। 8.5 लाख से अधिक सरकारी और 3,75,000 से अधिक संविदा पर नौकरी पाने वाले जहां निष्पक्ष और पारदर्शी प्रक्रिया के साक्षी बने, वहीं अनुसूचित जाति, जनजाति, पिछड़े एवं निम्न आय वर्ग के अभ्यर्थियों को मिला आरक्षण का संपूर्ण लाभ। प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना, प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना और जल जीवन मिशन से लेकर मुख्यमंत्री युवा स्वरोजगार और एक जनपद एक उत्पाद जैसी विभिन्न योजनाएं यूपी में अंत्योदय से सर्वोदय का सपना कर रही हैं साकार। काम दमदार, डबल इंजन सरकार।
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
Welcome back. An Air India flight flying in from Kochi had a close shave while landing in Mumbai this morning after it veered off the rain-soaked runway. Pictures accessed by NDTV show a clump of grass stuck to the rear part of the aircraft and signs of damage on one of the engines. The runway too has been damaged. All passengers aboard the craft are safe, airport authorities have said. Visuals showed that the nacelle of the right engine, the housing that surrounds the engine, damage evidently having made contact during what is called a runway excursion. The damage to the nacelle means a part of the engine had an impact with the tarmac or the soft side of the runway. The clump of grass on the rear part of the engine indicates that the impact was deep. Government sources said that the plane, after landing, made a runway excursion to the one side of the runway. According to the Air India, the aircraft has been grounded for checks and the inspection is underway. The Mumbai airport issued a statement shortly after the incident. This incident comes at a time when the Aviation Regulator Director General of Civil Aviation is closely looking at the safety protocols for passengers' flights in the aftermath of the AI-171 crash in Ahmedabad last month that claimed over 250 lives. Mumbai has been witnessing heavy, continuous rain, leaving many areas waterlogged and disrupting transport services on Monday. In a major political shakeup, Japan's ruling coalition, led by the Liberal Democratic Party and its partner Kyoto, is set to lose its majority in the House of Councillors following Sunday's election, Kyoto News reports. This outcome delivers yet another blow to the minister Shinguri Isheba, who has vowed to remain in the office despite growing pressure, with the coalition now lacking majority control in both houses of the parliament. Passing legislation and budgets will be far more difficult. All major opposition parties have ruled out forming a coalition with the LDP and the Kyoto, further isolating the ruling alliance. Adding to the LDP's woes, the right-leaning Populist Party Sancheto made notable gains, appealing to the conservative voters with its nationalist platform despite criticism from the xenophobic undertones. The election has been widely seen as a referendum on the majority government's performance, especially amid rising living costs, low wage growth and limited progress in the trade talks with the US. Acknowledging the outcome, PM Ishiba said the result must be taken humbly and that the LDB remains committed to its responsibilities. Meanwhile, LDB Secretary General Hiroshi Moriyama emphasized that need to avoid a political vacuum. Now keep watching Hornbill TV.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
And we all need a little more clarity, and there are details.
About life, people and events that truly matter.